welcome to Hallabol. Before moving to the details, let us have a look at the headlines. Modi fails India, the country is reeling under a crisis on multiple fronts. TBSC results 2020 to be declared on 31st of July, that is Friday. Tripura's health sector under severe crisis during the Hira era. Shubal Bhomik swiped the BJP government for mishandling COVID situation in the state. Gopal Roy slammed the Tripura Chief Minister for hiding COVID-19 deaths of 4 persons. Now the news in details. Modi fails India. It is the only arrogance and incompetence of the Narendra Modi government in India that its citizens are suffering on multiple fronts. Allegations came after India reached second positions on COVID cases. Modi fails India. The country is reeling under a crisis on multiple fronts. COVID situation is worsening with every single day. Borders are unsafe. India's economic situation is at grim. Democracy is under attack. But what's worse is that Prime Minister Modi is silent on the issues affecting people of India. He acts deaf and dumb on the hues and cries of the citizens. And when he speaks, his speeches lack substance and are full of empty slogans and jumlas. India's coronavirus epidemic is growing at the fastest pace in the world. Yet Modi says India is in a better position than that of other countries. India is in the second position now in the number of confirmed infections, increasing 20% over the last week to more than 1.4 million confirmed cases, according to the Bloomberg's coronavirus tracker. India's health ministry said daily cases close to a record of 50,000 as on Monday. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, the world's second most popular country has been ramping up testing with 5,15,472 samples taken on Sunday. Still, the country lags behind in terms of testing. The Modi government also doesn't seem to have a strategy to stop Chinese transgression and protect the Indian territory. With the falling GDP, economic situation is also worsening in the country, increasing job losses. Banking sector is in a mess with the rising NPAs and government moving to privatize more than half of the 12 remaining public sector banks. Under the Modi government, millions are now at a risk of falling prey into poverty. Indian democracy is also at stake today. Institutions are being destroyed. Democratically elected governments are being toppled by threatening and coercing MLAs. It is only due to the arrogance and incompetence of the Narendra Modi government that India and its citizens are suffering on multiple fronts. Bureau Report, Hallabol. TBSC will declare the results of Higher Secondary Examination 2020 on 31st of July, that is Friday. Tripura Board of Secondary Education TBSC will declare the results of Higher Secondary Examination 2020 on 31st of July, that is Friday. TBSC President Dr. Bhabatosh Saha announced the same through a press briefing.
পরীক্ষাগুলোর নাম্বার দেবে সেই সব আমরা পর্যালোচনা করে বোর্ডের যে এক্সামিনেশন কমিটি এবং রাজ্য সরকার একটা হাই পাওয়ার কমিটি করেছিল তাদের সিদ্ধান্তক্রমে যে সমস্ত ছাত্ররা যে পরীক্ষাগুলো দিয়েছে সেই পরীক্ষার মধ্যে যে হাইয়েস্ট নাম্বার পেয়েছে সেই নাম্বারটাই ওদের যে পরীক্ষাগুলো দিতে পারেনি তার মধ্যে আমরা শতকরা আনুপাতিক হারে আমরা দিয়ে দেবো এইবারে সিদ্ধান্ত। কারণ শতকরা আনুপাতিক হার বলতে কী বোঝাচ্ছে, যেমন সব সাবজেক্টের রিটেন টেস্ট আর মান কিন্তু সমান নয়। যেমন হায়ার সেকেন্ডারিতে অঙ্কে হচ্ছে 100, আর্টসের সাবজেক্টগুলো হচ্ছে মেনলি 90, 10 হচ্ছে ইন্টারনেট, আর সায়েন্সের সাবজেক্টগুলো হচ্ছে রিটেন হচ্ছে 70 আর প্র্যাকটিক্যাল হচ্ছে 30।
Online results will be available at tripurainfo.com website at 9 a.m. in the morning. The results will be declared. Dr. Bhavuto Shah further said the results of the exams that were not conducted would be declared according to the merits. Due to prolonged lockdown period and critical COVID situation in the state, the results of TBSC higher secondary exams have been delayed so far. Bureau Report, Hallabol. Is this the Hira era people of the state expected, where critical patients are transported long way to Agartala for treatment and the district hospitals lack proper healthcare facilities? Tripura's health department is at a stake under the BJP government with no health minister and chief minister sitting on throne with total 32 departments. The medical and health sector of Tripura is reeling under severe miseries. This recklessness of the ruling BJP government has led to tremendous hardships of the common people. One pregnant woman got admitted at Pechattal Hospital, but later she had been referred to the Koilashore District Hospital for treatment. There, on finding symptoms, the woman went through COVID test and was found to be positive to the virus. But the hospital authority further referred her to Agartala for treatment, excusing that the Koilashore District Hospital does not have proper facilities for treatment. To stay in an ambulance while she was being transported to Agartala, she underwent through severe labor pain and immediately was taken to Kumarghat Hospital, where she gave birth to her baby. Dr. Hoimavati Pal on this issue said the media persons until sanitizing the entire hospitals and labor room. The labor room of Kumarghat Hospital would remain closed for 24 hours.
তারা কয় করোনা টেস্ট করবো তারপরে নিচে গেলাম কিছু তারা করোনা টেস্ট করছে তারা রিপোর্ট দিতে না এরপরে আবার ডাক্তার মিস্ত্রি দেখো কি কয় রিপোর্টে গেছি এরপর তারা ডাক্তারের কাছে কয় এটা করোনা পজিটিভ কয়।
তোমার স্ত্রীর নাম কি? লক্ষ্মী রানী চৌধুরী। কত বয়স? কৈলাসর থেকে আবার এখানে কেমনে আইছো?
আমরা রেফার করছি আগরতলা। আগরতলা যাওয়ার পথে এখানে তোমার বাচ্চা মানে একদম দরজার সামনেই পড়ছে।
ওইখানে কৈলাসর ডেলিভারি করে নাই?
না, এখানে তারা হাতই লাগাইছে। এখানে তারা না ডাক্তার বলছে।
Here the question arises why the pregnant woman who was in such a critical condition had to travel such a long distance for treatment while facing such hardships, while Koilashore District Hospital lacks proper facilities. Through this incident, one can well imagine what is the condition of health department of Tripura. Is this the Hira era people expected? Criticizers are saying that only to get rid of unwanted problem and fear of getting corona affected, the healthcare authorities of Koilashore District Hospital referred the patient to Agartala. Also, questions have been raised on the role of Chief Medical Officer and Medical Superintendent of the Koilashore District Hospital. Bureau Report, Hallabol. The reckless system of testing the incomers using the lottery method is the prime reason behind the rising COVID cases in Tripura. Senior Congress leader Shobal Bhomik took a toll on the ruling BJP government for its irresponsibility in handling the epidemic. The idea of a complete lockdown was to flatten the curve, stop the people from interacting with each other, maintain social distancing, and the number of COVID-19 cases would start coming down. There are many places in the world that succeeded in using the lockdown to this effect. This include Denmark, Slovakia, Greece, Austria, and Australia. Some countries used their lockdown so well that they managed to completely become COVID-free, such as New Zealand. This is the point where people of the country are told that all these countries are rich and have low population density. It's funny to see how quickly people go from pretending to be a superpower or Vishwaguru, as the BJP prefers, to resigning to our fate as a poor third world country that has a long way to go before it can catch up with the global averages of human development. But with a little comparable height, the data is cherry-picked. Narendra Modi lauds Yogi Adityanath by observing Uttar Pradesh having less number of COVID deaths so far, whereas the European countries with a comparable population have led 1.3 lakh COVID deaths. The truth is that Narendra Modi's lockdown was a failure even by his own publicly declared goal. Following the footsteps of Modi, Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb also failed to tackle the coronavirus cases in the state of Tripura. While describing the miseries of the people of Tripura, Congress leader Shubal Bhomik took a jibe on the BJP government under Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb for his irresponsibility and mishandling of the COVID epidemic in Tripura. He said the sudden spurt in cases all over the country is only due to the reckless behavior of the BJP government. Every day, more than 50,000 new cases has taken India to the second position in the world. Shubal Bhomik criticized the ruling BJP government in Tripura, saying lottery system has been adopted by the government in testing the incomers. Among 5 passengers, only 1 has been tested for COVID. This reckless system has led to the rising number of positive cases in the state. 17 persons have lost their lives, according to the latest reports.
করে যারা বাইরে থেকে এসছে তাদের প্রতি 5 জনে একজনের টেস্টিং হবে, 4 জনের হবে না। এই যে লটারি করে করে এই ধরনের কোভিডের বিরুদ্ধে লড়াই, যেটা আজকে সারা রাজ্যে ব্যাপকভাবে ছড়িয়ে গেছে, 17 জন মারা গেছে, 4000-এর অধিক প্রায়।
Shubal Bhomik further advised the people of Tripura are not residents of any European countries. The utmost need is to motivate them emotionally and make them aware of its pros and cons. The government must involve the people and like a control room, it should take the steps one after another every coming day.
কানেক্ট করতে হবে, মোটিভেটেড করতে হবে। এটা তো সুইজারল্যান্ড নয় যে নোটিশ বোর্ডে একটা নোটিশ লাগিয়ে দিলেই সবাই ফলো করবে। ইউরোপের কোনো কান্ট্রি নয়, আমাদের মানুষকে ইনভলভ করতে হয়। তাই রাজ্যে সরকারকে কন্ট্রোল রুমের মতো প্রতিদিন পদক্ষেপ নিতে হবে। রাজ্যে একজন।
He also added the 10 lakh compensation amount declared by the Tripura BJP government for corona deceased families should be urgently given to them.
ইমিডিয়েট দেওয়া হয়েছে কিনা, না দিলে ইমিডিয়েট সেগুলো দিয়ে দেওয়া দরকার, কারণ এই পরিবারগুলো অন্তত একটা সান্ত্বনা পাবে। আমরা শুধু আমাদের বক্তব্য নয়।
He further slammed the BJP government, saying the ministers are busy in doing press briefing for hours but lack in policy making for controlling the pandemic. Shubal Bhomik added, when the state is dealing with a severe disaster, there is no one to take care about the problems of the doctors and the frontline fighters. There is no health minister in the state. When there are large number of MLAs in the state but Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb sits on his throne with 32 departments, said Congress leader Shubal Bhomik.
মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্রীকেই সব দেখতে হচ্ছে। কেন? প্রায় 44 জন বিধায়ক আছেন, 44 জন বিধায়কের মধ্যে একজনও কি স্বাস্থ্যমন্ত্রী হওয়ার উপযুক্ত নেই? ডাক্তার আছেন, বিভিন্ন প্রতিষ্ঠিত ব্যক্তিত্বরা তারা বিধায়ক হয়েছেন, তাদের কাছে একজনকে অন্তত ভারতবর্ষে কোনো রাজ্যে স্বাস্থ্যমন্ত্রী ছাড়া আছে আর এই মহা বিপর্যয় মোকাবেলা চলছে কোনো রাজ্য নেই ভারতবর্ষে, একমাত্র ত্রিপুরায় স্বাস্থ্যমন্ত্রী নেই। মুখ্যমন্ত্রী 32খানা দপ্তর নিয়ে আছেন, উনি কখন দেখবেন? এই ব্যবস্থাগুলো আগে নেওয়া উচিত।
Shubal Bhomik urged the ruling BJP government to be more serious with the disaster and keeping politics at a side, everyone should stand together to fight the situation. Bureau Report, Hallabol. Senior Congress leader Gopal Chandra Roy swiped the BJP government in Tripura under Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb for not revealing the 4 COVID deaths on Monday. Congress leader Gopal Roy strongly criticized the Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb, alleging that he hid COVID-19 deaths of 4 persons yesterday. He added Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb did not reveal the actual count of deaths over his Twitter or social media post. Gopal Roy further said repeatedly he, for the sake of the huge number of people of Tripura, has been urging the ruling BJP government in Tripura to build COVID-19 hospitals in all the districts, but the government paid no heed to the request and advices of the opposition. All the inappropriate decisions and mismanagement of the ruling BJP government has led to the hike in the active cases and death toll in the state.
বিশ্বগ্রাসী করোনা ভাইরাসে ত্রিপুরার আমাদের আরও 4 জনের প্রাণ কেড়ে নিয়েছে, 4 জন মারা গেছে। তাইলে পত্রিকায় যা দেখলাম আগে ছিল 13, এখন 4 জন, 17 জন। কিন্তু মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্রী যে টুইট করেছেন তাতে কতজন মারা গেছেন এটার কিন্তু কালকে কিছু পাইনি। কালকে 147 জন পজিটিভ হয়েছে পেয়েছি। পত্রিকা খুঁজে খুঁজে এক এক লোক এক এক ধরনের নিউজ।
Congress leader Gopal Roy raised questions on the ruling BJP government, inquiring whether the persons who breathed last due to COVID-19 were given proper healthcare facilities or not. He also said after 17 deaths so far, the government should understand the sincerity of the problem.
আজকে সংবাদপত্র পড়ে দেখলাম, কয়েকটা সংবাদপত্র পেলাম, করোনা ভাইরাস, বিশ্বগ্রাসী করোনা ভাইরাসে ত্রিপুরার আমাদের আরো 4 জনের প্রাণ কেড়ে নিয়েছে, 4 জন মারা গেছে। তাইলে পত্রিকায় যা দেখলাম, এখানে একটা সেন্ট্রালি আগরতলাতে একটা কোভিড হসপিটাল করা উচিত আমি বলেছিলাম, এবং প্রত্যেকটা জেলায় একটা করে কোভিড হসপিটাল করা উচিত।
Only very few media with limited information published the news of death of 4 COVID patients on Monday, as earlier Law Minister Ratulal Nath told media that except the highest authority, nobody should publish COVID-19's serious data. But it was Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Dev who did not publish COVID-19 death data, which had to be the most important data. Senior Congress leader Gopal Roy condemned to the ruling BJP government for not detailing the cases of deaths, putting forth the fact that the family members of the deceased persons have the right to know the well-being and information of their closed ones. Earlier, said Health Minister Shudip Roy Burman wrote a letter to Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Dev alleging incomplete info on his tweet. But this time, Chief Minister's tweet totally deleted the death case of COVID-19. Bureau Report, Hallabol. Well, that's all from the English desk at this moment. For more news and updates, stay tuned to Hallabol.